question was not very clear on exactly what you're talking about. Someone would just guess, like I just guessed that you're talking about the issue of title deeds. But next time when you're drafting these questions, be specific as to what you are really referring to, so that there is no misinterpretation whatsoever. Honorable Leader of Government Business, please may I respond to question number 1?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, this question appears to be appearing twice, where Honorable Gumete is asking me to tell the House whether the government intends to introduce flexible payment arrangements, installment plans or exemptions for pensioners, persons with disability and low-income house owners participating in the validation and securitization exercise. And then B, what kind of public consultations were undertaken before the introduction of the program, and C, what mechanisms are available for citizens to lodge complaints, appeals or disputes arising from the validation process. Mr. Speaker, let me start by giving a background. At the deeds office we have a manual registration of title deeds. And what has been happening of late is that there have been fraudsters who have been colluding with some of our officials, changing title deeds, and then having home owners evicted from their homes. And some have actually, there's a case in Bulawayo where some law firm fraudulently obtained a title deed for a piece of land that was not theirs, advertised to people in the diaspora, who then bought in the mistaken belief that they were buying real land because they were actually showing them deeds. And in the end, it was then discovered that this was not their land. And the most famous one is that of the former cabinet minister, Dr. Mutumbuka, whose house was nearly sold because of those activities. Given this, we then undertook a research and we decided that let's computerize the deeds office so that we then have title deeds that are securitized. But how do we then decided to go about it? We felt that everyone owning a property in the title deeds must go to their conveyancer. And that conveyancer, should anything happen, that becomes the responsible person that will hold accountable, so that we exclude those that may steal other people's title deeds. We didn't want a scenario where you walk in with your title deeds and then you do the verification alone. It may happen that after some time someone will come and say that I never tendered my title deed. But the whole thrust is that all the title deeds in the country must be securitized. We want to remove this fraudulent activity and connivance that were happening where honest people have lost their properties. So we decided to go the route of using a professional who would then do the verification and tender those documents. And because he's a professional registered by the Law Society, we then hold that individual accountable. So the monies that are charged is purely consultation fees to the lawyers. We are not, as deeds, getting all that money. So this process, to answer the first question, I will answer it in a manner that our late Minister of Agriculture, Parents Shiri, may his soul rest in peace, he said at one point when addressing farmers, they were complaining that they didn't have chemicals for dipping cattle, their cattle were dying, what was government doing because they were indigent. And he said, the loss is to yourselves. It's better to sell one cow and you contribute as a team to procuring these chemicals, and you save 5 keto. If you have 5, sell 1, and you preserve 4. This question whereby the honorable member is saying they want flexible, they want exemption. The point is, this exercise is benefiting the title deed holder, because we are putting mechanisms to ensure that what may happen now, because this question is presupposing that what happened to Mutumbuka or to those diasporans who were sold land will not happen to the disabled or to the pensioners. So we are saying what can be negotiated is the quantum, but this process is a very noble process that will secure property for everyone. Because once it's securitized and the verification has been done, the burden now lies with the conveyancer should anything happen. And all the homeowners will now be protected, because we will now have a computerized system that will tell us exactly who accessed the system and authorized the transfer. So these questions, even the public consultation, this is for the benefit of the public. There was a public outcry which is well documented, and there is no need to continue with a public consultation over a process that is protecting the very individuals, including all of us here. You may fall prey to somebody who can manipulate the system as it is currently. So even on the question of mechanisms to lodge complaints, we are saying go to your conveyancer. So I'm not sure what complaint, because you are going to your lawyer, or if you do not have, government has a legal aid directorate who do means test to say there's this program that is being done, but I'm an indigent person. They will do a means test to see whether you are unable to pay or not. But what I'm appealing to honorable members is there have been so much misinformation about this. This is a very good program that we put safeguards to ensure that we protect properties for all of us by migrating from a paper-based system of title deeds production to one which is a computer-based, which is securitized. We will even have links to banks, whereby if somebody is selling a property and you go to a bank, the bank will have a user code that will access our system and be able to view and satisfy themselves that this is authentic. But right now, you may actually visit the deeds office looking for a copy of your deed. You may not get it. So this is a process that has not been clearly understood by the majority of the people, and I can see from the questioning that the questions believe that government is benefiting from this, believe that it's an unfair system, but this is a people-driven process because of the outcries from those that have lost their properties. I submit, Honorable.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Yes, Honorable Gumede.
Thank you so much for the comprehensive response that the Honorable Minister has given us, highlighting the fact that as legislators, our responsibility is to convey what is on the ground. My supplementary question, therefore, is that if this digitalization of title deeds is a government initiative, first of all, I believe that the principles of good governance guide us to say that there should have been public consultations. And secondly, why I didn't quite get why the citizens are expected to pay the $215 US. Yes, they do benefit, but can the government not allocate some kind of budgetary support so that they can be able to fund this program? This, to me, is actually a plea to the minister to say that, yes, the 215, it sounds reasonable to say you are protecting maybe a property of 60,000, but still the 215 is not affordable. So can there not be ways that this 215 can strike a balance from what the people are saying on the ground and the good work that the government is trying to do with this program? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Gumede. Maybe to ease that, because Honorable Minister, believe me, this subject of title deeds and all that we're talking about here is very contentious out there. Is there probably a way that maybe you as a ministry, you give us a proper direction in terms of a written statement to say the process that the people are supposed to go through is A, B, C, D? Because now there's a lot of misinterpretation, false information, so many information that is flowing around. People no longer know what is happening. You are told that you are supposed to pay $250. You are told that you are supposed to pay $210 somewhere. So maybe, can you, as a ministry, give us a comprehensive way of how this thing is supposed to happen from A up to Z, so that then from there we can be guided and know? Because it's a question that were asked by our people from our constituencies. I was asked that question yesterday at 9 p.m. to say, Honorable MP, what is happening? Why are we now paying all this money when we think? So please, is it possible to probably give us a comprehensive statement on the whole process?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, firstly, let me just respond to indicate that I comprehensively responded and indicated that we had a problem of fraudulently produced production of title deeds, and that does not require a public consultation, and it has nothing to do with the so-called good governance. It's clearly a criminal process that was happening due to the issuance of deeds that were fraud to duplication in connivance with other people. So as a government, you don't wait to say, I'm going to do a public consultation on whether to put a system that will secure your property. Just like the example that I gave you, that government put deep tanks and they make sure they provide dipping chemicals to protect the head. And then somebody says, we need a public consultation on whether we need to have our head protected. This is a system that is protecting our property. As a government, when we put measures, we even compel the ignorant so that they are protected. That is the reason that when you have programs like immunization programs that they do, I was told that my young son needs to go and have, my grandson needs to go and have cholera vaccination and polio vaccination. And they indicated that it was ending on Friday. There is no need for public consultation. The minister will simply direct that we need to eradicate cholera. And these are the measures that we are putting to ensure that it's eradicated. The point that I'm putting, Honorable Speaker, is that we have politicized a system that is protecting ourselves. But the danger as a government is to allow the ignorant to say, I don't want. Because when you lose property, you then have to go to the same legal system, our police and the courts, to report, and it will be the burden of the state again. What I am saying is we actually negotiate.
On a point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, sir, you, despite that you have made a ruling, we expected the minister to, number one, comply with your ruling. Number two, to consider also the wisdom that can be found in the people they assume they are ignorant. What is happening with title deeds? I want to give examples. One example. There are people who are now staying in the houses that they inherited from their fathers. Some are now maybe 99 years old. And those are the people who are no longer working, Mr. Speaker said. And the idea now is that how then that person needs to be protected. And even the idea of public consultation cannot be substituted because there was a problem. Even if there is a problem, a public consultation is a constitutional requirement because this is a program that will require people to pay. So those who are not able to pay, ministers cannot simplify and take the property owners as homogeneous. If you go, Mr. Speaker, to Kwabobo or to Harare South,
Can you keep it short?
yes, I'm finishing. I just want to end by saying, if you go to areas where this issue of title deed started, like Kwabobo, Hopefully in Harare South, Heathcliff, those areas, Mr. Speaker said, the people in those areas, they struggle even to get $10. So these are the people who would be expected to pay $200, more than $200. We need those safety nets. I humbly request Mr. Honorable Minister to listen and to consider that there is also wisdom even in those shacks in Hopefully. That's our plea, Mr. There is wisdom there.
Thank you, Honorable.
Yes.
And a point of clarity.
Order. Can we allow the Honorable Minister to finish off first, and then we take it from there? You may continue.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Mahauswa never listened to what I was saying, because hopefully it does not have title deeds. It's a totally different scheme altogether. We are trying to give them title deeds. We have different schemes. We have a presidential title deeds program where we are saying those vulnerable people that are staying in houses without title deeds, they need to have title deeds. Then we are saying you are holding a title deed and you are vulnerable because there are people who are manipulating those paper-based title deeds. And we are having a process of converting those into securitized, computerized, more secure deeds. So those are two different programs. And I am saying the process of conversion, we actually had to negotiate with the Law Society. We had an option of saying all Zimbabweans with title deeds, you walk into deeds office and present your title deeds. But we felt it was extremely dangerous because thieves can actually steal and connive and change those deeds. And the true owners would then emerge when we have already changed. Then we said, let's use conveyancers, because these are professional lawyers that we can hold accountable should they process a deed and verify a deed fraudulently. So what we can only negotiate is how do we assist those that are indigent so that they can also have their title deeds changed. That's where I said we also have the Legal Aid Directorate that do a means test for those indigent. And then I gave a scenario to say that This is a process that is helping all of us because we are vulnerable to fraudsters. Some of us may believe that what happened to Mutumbuka cannot happen to you. And that is false. It can happen to you while you are crying out that I don't have $200. You may lose a property that is worth more than $20,000. So that's where we are saying this is a very good program. The question is, perhaps, like what Honorable Gumed is, those that are indigent are the ones that we can then refer to our legal aid directorate so that they can screen and be satisfied and then process. Because there may be cases where genuinely they can't. They are not even able to feed themselves. Perhaps social welfare is taking care of them. Then it means that it's the same government that is feeding them that should also do likewise. But we are saying this process does not need all that Honorable Gumede was saying, because it's real. I agree, Honorable. We have already started having programs on radio. My permanent secretary has issued a statement, has been on First the Nation. We can prepare a comprehensive statement that we can circulate to show the gravity. But all I'm saying is, those terms that you were given by Vamnangapa, if you get deeds for them, you are vulnerable to the fraudsters if we continue with the system that we have currently. That's the reason why we want to change to a more secure, that will give comfort to our citizens. But let's not confuse this process with the presidential title deed program, where we are going to areas where people do not have title deeds. And we are saying we need now to verify and identify the actual owners and come up with a scheme that will be incorporated into the rates so that they end up with their title deeds and be able to access, be it infrastructure bond collectively to do the roads and other infrastructure. That is a separate program. But this one is for those that have title deeds, that have property which has a certain value. I submit, Honor, Mr. Speaker.
Supplementary.
On a point of clarity.
I will prepare something for honorable members as you directed, but I felt that I needed to clarify why this program is there for honorable members to have an appreciation, but I will duly comply with what you submitted, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. So I think because the Minister has agreed to give us a statement, a comprehensive statement, maybe let's wait for that. By next week, I'm sure it will be there. Then we'll stand guided as to what exactly the process is. And if there is any clarification, we can do the clarification then.
On a point of privilege.
For now.
Point of privilege.
Mr. Speaker, sir, on a point of privilege.
Order. Please, all take your seats. Take your seats. Wonderful. Right. I was saying that the Minister has clarified what is clarified. And he has even agreed to do a ministerial statement. So I don't know what points of privileges you want to rise on. But okay, I'll indulge you. Yes, Honorable Gomede starts.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for indulging me. My point of privilege was just to request humbly so to the Minister to say that there are aspects of this program which are very complicated and they are confusing to the public out there. I was requesting that as you write the ministerial statement or a comprehensive statement, can you clearly state what happens at the end where the deadline comes and lapses? What happens to the people who would not have digitalized their title deeds? I think people really want to know about the deadline issue because the deadline is quite close. Thank you so much.
Honorable Masangu, what do you want to clarify as well?
It's not a clarity per se. My plea to the Honorable Minister is to extend the validation period to the 31st of December 2030. The reason why I'm saying that is just because we want to align this project with our vision 2030, whereby we're going to reduce the panic from the people and those agencies that might want to do academic problems. I thank you.
Right, yes, Honorable. It's Honorable.
Sagandira.
Yes, Sagandira, yes.
Thank you. My request, Honorable Speaker, is that the ministry seems to be doing very well in terms of employing digital rights management system. But the ministry seems to be turning a blind eye on other property rights management, like the rights of musicians. This system is not benefiting intellectual property rights for musicians. They are not able to get their subscription.
Order. I think you're now out of...
I'm just requesting the minister to...
No. I was indulging you, but we're actually out of the thing. Because I wanted the minister to be prepared for the comprehensive statement that we had asked for. So what I indulged on was to say, what do you need to be included in that statement? That is why I allowed Honorable Gumede.
Yes, that's why I'm saying of
that.
the
But now we are talking
intellectual
about
property rights for musicians, which is the same office.
No, please bring that separately, not on this one. Thank you. Order, just hold on, order. Right, the last one on this, Honorable Madzaniga.
Natenda
And keep it short.
Sure. But what's going to kumbia minister posha ne minduro panyaya zima title deed e. Vaone old because one we do kushow kwa kutaka kuti ini sababu wako mwanangu panakona ma title deed haya. Ndakabadala conference ya kutaura yoyo. Ndikabadala sources ya ido wani beparantaro ro kudala ero. Saka ibo zino mondi ndibadala zvimwe mari aisi double chokwa diri mwanangu. That was opinion of what I want to do. Minister of
Attend. So, Honorable Minister of Justice, I think you've heard. So, I think we're done because we've got a lot of other questions. I've indulged people on this, but the minister has heard the jinx and the trajectory of how he's going to respond to this.
If you can indulge me, yours truly.
30 seconds.
Majida, thank you so much, Honorable. Thank you very much for granting me this opportunity. Honorable Speaker, I just wanted to hint the Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister ZIYAMBI, Leader of Government Business, if you may pay your attention. Please, Honorable ZIYAMBI.
Honorable, I said 30 seconds, and you're going round and round.
If you realize, Kuti, the former minister, Mutumbuka, akabirwa imba yake nenyaya dzematitle deeds. Ndinokumbira kuti Honorable Minister pauri kuya statement vaite so thara kutarisa magap ese kuitira kuti vabatsire vanhu vari kunze uko vari kukanganiswa. Ndakaona vamwe mai mudzimai what the late brigadier general vakatorerwa imba yavo nesim system yevanhu ivavo. Saka tokumbira kuti minister pavanouya ngavatibatsire kuti kana yese iye inoshandiswa ngemaguruvha uko zvibatsire kuti zvinhu izvi zvimire vanhu vabatsirike. Mazvita.
Thank you.
Maona kuti zvine musoro zvinoda kutaura ka.
Minister ndo zvavatanga nazvo izvozvo vichitaura kuti chirongwa ichi chakakoshera nyaya idzodzo dzokuti vanhu vanga vakubirwa and kunyanya-nyanya magweta anga kushanda pamwe chete nevanhu vanoshanda ku-deeds office vechiita izvozvo. Saka ndofunga honorable minister mazvinzwa muchatigadzirira nezvizere panyaya iyi nekuti nyaya iri kushungurudza vanhu vakawanda kuno muZimbabwe. Next question, question number 3, honorable Bajila.
Question number 3, Mr. Speaker.